nyumbani interviews Kioni na haulizi swali yoyote ya why is it that you are in this thing.
I've asked and I'm asking
again. So you are as guilty as we are, because I want to hold the media to account. Why haven't you organized debates?
You know, you're very brilliant, Jeremiah. You're an extremely brilliant man. But what you're doing,
I'll tell you
is that you are going away from my question.
No, I want to come back.
Why are you telling us that you actually are all running for different reasons, but then you've held us to this dog and pony show for the last 6 months about how there's a united opposition.
But I also told you
shouldn't be a united opposition because you're not united. So can you just all disunite? You've said it. Can you repeat that? You've said it.
And I said again, I am not going to be part of a con game.
So why have you held captive audience for all this time? And people are saying, oh, okay, they're hiding behind the bushes. They're going to come and tell us tomorrow, this is the guy it's going to be. There's a target on this person.
Waiting for the white smoke.
We're waiting for the smoke, but then there's no fire even. There's no match. There's nothing.
Mimi nitakwambia tena na nitasema na Kiswahili ndio wewe na wengine waelewe. I said here, that is already English. Nisema hapa ya kwamba one of the ways of doing it is carry out a scientific polling.
Yeah.
That is being resisted. There's cost element in it, of course, and there are many people who not want to do it. The other thing I also asked from the media is, why don't you, instead of coming to my house to carry out a solo interview, why don't you call us into Spice? There are 3 chairs, 3 corners here. Hold us to a debate, even if it's 2 hours, 1 hour, on an issue. Let Kenyans make up their minds out there. Again, if a person is, you'll hear people resisting that thing, I'm not available and the rest. We who are outside the united opposition must force this question to the table. Is it going to happen or not going to happen?
But I think you've already confirmed today there is no united opposition.
I'm not
Jeremiah.
a candidate.
It doesn't matter. You're a deputy party leader who is holding brief. Not just speculative or perceptive, but you're holding brief for a potential political presidential candidate.
For the most popular presidential candidate.
There you go. And then now you're telling us...
He believes in the united opposition. Yesterday he told me that, remember, forming this coalition is a very difficult thing and it is going to take time. And it calls for a lot of patience. Yeah. Maybe patience that he has that I do not have. But let me say this. When I mentioned the name of Fred Matiang'i, he was working the World Bank.
Yes.
I had not consulted him. My mind then was telling me, if we don't pick a candidate who is likely to be less controversial, less political, and a person who Kenyans can identify, wote, wakiwa Vanga, wakiwa wapi kwa sababu wanajua jina lake, a person who Kenyans can rally behind without having been persuaded politically, we will end up where we are. Instead of people who are with me seeing that kind of mindset, I was fought left, right, and center. Many did not understand why I was being fought. But I was being fought because I was denying others an opportunity to come and play politics with us and waste our time by telling us that we are going to produce one presidential candidate, a candidate not based on ability to bring changes in this country, but based on how your ability to mobilize people, whip emotions, insult others, isolate others. That kind of thing, we were resisting it from the beginning. Now we are in the deep end. And I am saying I am not the one to be blamed. For this I can tell you, I tried, I did my best. Nilipambana kupigania chama ambacho kiko na uso ya Wakenya. Yeah. And I'm happy that the changes that were brought in the new of SG and the party leader, so that it was not a Mlima party. But instead of us looking at making it look like a national party, what were we told? Oh, this is now a Mukisi party. But the people who did not want us to get to a candidate who is better for all Kenyans, but who wanted to make sure that they mobilized using other reasons. So all this fighting, if you want to actually get an answer to the question you're asking me, go through the battles I have gone through. The answer is there. Wale ambao walikuwa, I mean, I question some people, and I don't want to mention, but there are people I ask, why is it that you are trying to promote bullies from certain communities? Why are you picking the worst in every community and trying to work with that person?
Why can't you just say, Jeremiah, that everybody should just run alone?
Yeah.
I said it. We did it in Kalau. Yeah. Kila mtu, kama hakuna maana ya kupoteza wakati bingi, kama hii kitu inaenda namna watu wapange raini pale. People will vote behind, they will queue behind Matiang'i and William. Then we sort them out. The general election. Na hii kitu ikuishia hapo. Na sisi twende, kila mtu aende akatafute kura. Hiyo namna hiyo. I mean, for me, it's the easiest way to go. And I don't say that because presidential candidate is my president, but it's because I had this vision more than 2 years ago.
Apart from...
Wacha nikuambie, after 2022, me I knew, if we don't end up with a different thing. Because Raila called us, I want to make a disclosure here. Immediately after the 2022 elections, Raila assembled a few of us in Mombasa. And he said he's done with the politics. It's time for you young people to start running around and getting a person. Organize yourself to run 2027. He said that. So in my mind, I knew he was not going to run. Even if Raila was alive today, he wasn't going to run. And it is at that point I started asking myself, I am here struggling with one of the bigger, they were on 3 parties, is ODM, is Jubilee, is UDA. What role are we going to play? I'm the Secretary General. So it was not, it's not innocent. If I can continue making those, it's not innocent. My picking on Matiang'i, it was not innocent. He may not have understood it also when he got back to the country. Maybe he also didn't understand the number of people who are up against his candidature. Now it is clearer to him, I believe. Because if it was clear to us 1 year ago, the question that you're asking, which is very painful now, and the answer I'm giving that is really not a very encouraging answer, will not have a reason. Will be clear like it was 2027, 2022, 2017, not 2017 and 2022. 2017 it was Uhuru versus Raila. 2022 it was Ruto versus Raila. To 2027 it would have been William versus Matiang'i.
I mean,
lakini sasa tumepambana hapa, wengine wamekuja mpaka Munya mwenyewe anakuja kukuambia mimi sitapigia huyo kura.
United Opposition, where Jubilee belongs as well, has been the first agenda, rather what has been said, the first agenda is Ruto must go and one term is a reality. But now we are 1 year less a day to the general election. And you've rightfully said that perhaps we need to start having conversations around agenda and issues coming up, right? And with that, then these over the roof, top of the roof conversations need to stop, and we need to start seeing agenda. As Jubilee, let's talk about Jubilee then. With your presidential candidate, what strategy are you employing so that even as you struggle to be the candidate for United Opposition, that we are seeing agenda being pushed by the Jubilee candidate?
I have mentioned that, and I can tell you that I would be happy to just talk about what we want to do in every of the sectors. Of course, the best person to do that is the presidential candidate himself, but I can also do it because I've listened to him. We have had these discussions. But I'm telling you that instead of us concentrating on that point, we are being taken into side shows because that is where we are best at as Jubilee.
Okay.
We have a track record on every sector. When we went to that place is called, oh my goodness, how do I remember forget the
Sibania?
Not just before Sibania. There's a town way near the border. I'm forgetting the name. But they were there. We were asking, nani areta istima? Jubilee. Ilami nani areta? Jubilee. Every corner of this country, there's something we did. Why? Because we had a clear vision of what we wanted to do as a party. That is the same vision we want to grow beyond where we were. And we can tell you, on every sector, there's something we will do that will bring changes to Kenya's life, and it will be done without the struggle.
Okay.
And that is what we like talking about. But before we talk about that, nikikuja kabla nionge, wewe ni ready wheelbarrow.
Haya, sawa.
Hata sasa wachaneni na hiyo sasa. Hii mwaka ni atuongee mambo ya viongozi, na tunataka wapange laini. Kama hawataelewana, waache kusema mwaka ujao.